You have to consider in life that you do not know what you do not know. Meaning the things that you have not seen, what your brain has not experienced, it is not accustomed to. It does not know it exists. The same way how you've came here on this world at a certain age, you evolved, because if anything, you de-evolved. You evolve physically, biologically. You see things, you meet people, you understand different ideas, understand different ways of being, and understand different realms of thoughts and all these things. But who said like these were the norm way of thinking, the norm way of being? What is the standard of thinking? What is the standard of being? What is the standard of things, reality? The standard of reality is what speaks to you, what speaks to your heart, what your way of being. That is the standard. That is your standard. Only with your standard can other people be inspired to live their own standards and not just like others. It's mind-boggling that people do not understand that the trends of today will be laughed at 30 years from now in the same way that the trends of today are laughed at by our parents and the generations older than us. Isn't that coincident? Like, this is a repeating cycle, a repeating thing. You can ask your grandmother, you can have a conversation with your grandmother or somebody that has lived a few generations above you or above our current generation. You can ask them, like, yeah, people move like this, people move like that, and they would laugh. They would sit and laugh. Like, it's not like, it is not something that they did once in their childhood. It's not the mode of thinking that was normal in their way of childhood. So stop going with whatever you feel like is popular or trendy or what you want to do, what you want to be, or as in what you want to do, as in what you think is normal, or but there is no true definition. Nothing defines normal. Nothing defines as just because it's popular, just because more deluded people do it, doesn't mean it is the truth. Just because deluded people hop into a collection and say, yeah, this is right, but they're delusional. They don't know what is right. How can they know what is right when they just don't know? They don't know. And you might be asking, how do you know, though, bro? How do you know? Because I walk and I believe and I think and I operate as myself. I will never operate as the masses do. I do not care what my friends think or parents or whatever. I operate what I believe is correct to my way of being. And if not, possibly I am incorrect. Every 6 months or so, I sit down and I contemplate. Possibly everything I know, my ways of thinking, my patterns of being are all incorrect, and I am delusional, just as the way I am describing these people. Perhaps I am delusional as I describe these people. That resets me from wherever I might be. Let's say I'm operating over here in realms. I reset myself to zero and ponder myself as a delusionist. I ponder. I'm possibly crazy. I possibly don't know what I am talking about. And then you revalidate yourself from this level of equilibrium, level of zero, and then you build yourself up from there. Like, oh no, maybe that you do really do understand things. Maybe your way of being is the correct way of being for you, and for others, they're just being how others are. They're just being how the populace acts. They're just being normal or popular or what's considered, popular and normal. And it's insane. It's insane, guys, because like you can go on a like you guys can go on dates with people or whatever it is and try to have conversation of value of depth. Like most people don't understand what this word depth means. Like conversation that leads and moves you places within, and you cannot, because what is there to talk about other than what's normal or trendy or what's popular. All these things, like there's nothing other than nothing. People don't talk about anything other than that anymore. It's like what is the current topic of discussion in the world? Let's talk about that. Let's discuss that. And there's nothing more to our lives because our lives are shit and we haven't done anything with our lives, and we haven't discovered anything. We haven't went on adventures. We haven't discovered ourselves, and it's a very monotonous and robotic and sad life. If you guys really deepen it, it is. It is. So what I am advocating for is for you guys to understand that whatever is happening now, whatever is happening 30 years ago, it is all just a mode of trend. It's just a trend. It comes and goes. It comes and goes. What we need more of is your own individualistic character. what you represent, what you want to release to the world. You think geniuses have followed the populists to invent genius ideas? You think the iPhone and all these crazy, innovative, beautiful technologies, pieces of equipment have been invented by following normal ways of thinking, normal ways of being? Of course not. No. The answer is no. That is not what happened. These people have pursued paths that they believed spoke to them, that they were passionate about, that they wanted to pursue. It was their life's greatest purpose. The end of this person's being was to develop this and this and this and this. And that is exactly what they did. And now look at our lives. It's revolutionized by what they have left us. So what I am saying is, in the same way people have done this, you should revolutionize others' lives by becoming revolutionary yourself. And the way you can do this is by tapping into your deepest, truest nature, by your deepest, truest self, and releasing things of value, and revolutionizing things to this world, whatever it is, whether it's a few sentences on Twitter or something of anything of value, you know what I mean? And like, you can only release value when you have value within yourself, and you give yourself value, and you find the value within yourself. Value is not found in popular things. Value is not found in trendy things, in commercialization, in all the in commercial industries. It's not found there. It's not found in capitalism. It's not. It's found within you. What's revolutionary for you. You know what makes you a revolutionist. People should look at your revolutionary ideas, the content, whatever it is, ideas that you release, and they should be inspired. They should be inspired in a way to pursue things that speak to them, that pursue things that they find revolutionary for themselves. People should look at you and understand that, man, human potential is so vast and so enormous and so huge, contrary to what we've been taught and believe.